What's up, y'all? In this video, we're going to be talking about sales, my favorite subject, right? So we're going to go over the entire sales cycle, condensed version of it because it could get really crazy sometimes. But I'm going to go through 7 steps of the sales cycle. So if you're someone that needs to understand this, you're going to love this video. If you are in sales, I strongly suggest that you watch it. If you are a realtor, and we are cut from the same cloth, you definitely need to watch this. So without further ado, let's get it, y'all. Okay, so the sales cycle. The first step, well, I'm going to go through steps, 7 of them, but it keeps going forever, right? It's a flow. You got to keep going in the cycle. That's why it's called a cycle. So the first thing you're going to do is prospecting. You got to get your head around prospecting. Prospecting is done in 3 different departments. Ready? People you know. You can talk to people you know. In my game, we call that a sphere of influence. You can talk to people you don't know. All right. Usually it's just these 2. People you know, people you don't know. And theoretically, it is only these 2, right? You can only do business with 2 types of people. People you know and people you don't know. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to add a 3rd so you understand it and you ingrain it in your head. People that they know. That's probably the most important one, and that's referrals. Okay? Yes, arguably, those are still people you don't know, but it is so important we're going to give them a category. People you know, people you don't know, people that they know. Those are the people you're going to prospect. How you going to find them is above the pay grade of this video anyway. But when you show me some love and you subscribe to my channel, I'm going to give you all this value for free, y'all. Okay, so the more love you get, the more videos I can make. And you've been giving me some love, so I appreciate you. All right, so yeah, in different videos, we're going to talk about how you can prospect, right? Your sphere of influence, your flyers, your door knocking, your cold calling, your online lead generation. Man, I got a whole course on all that kind of stuff. So if you want to know more of that, and just hit me up a comment and I will make sure that I get that out to you. All right, so but prospecting is your sole duty to get business. Okay, you can do it outbound or through marketing. You can get people to contact you. That is phase 2. I suggest everybody, even if you have a multi-million-dollar trust fund and you just got in business, the first thing you do is not mass market, because even if you mass market, your conversion is not going to be great because you don't understand the steps. Do not skip steps. First thing I want you to do, I want you to prospect in the sales cycle. And then as you do enough prospecting, the act of actually contacting people, then the next thing that you're going to do, or your second step in the sales cycle, is your approach and contact. Your approach and contact. Usually the sales lingo that we use for that is your script. Your sales script. What are you saying to these people? What is your approach? My sales script had 3 different parts. Okay, had your intro, had your qualifying questions and getting where I'm getting their motivation and timing, and 3rd part was the offer. Now you can mess up the intro. You can ask the wrong questions on the qualifying and questions. But if you want to be an absolute gangster in sales, if you want to rock and roll and make sure that you're closing deals left, right, and center, you cannot mess up your offer. Your offer is the most important part of your sales script, because that offer is going to get you into the next phase, which we're going to hold off on a second. But your offer is so important. Make sure you're giving value in the offer. Make sure that you're giving things that they cannot get themselves. all right, above and beyond you. And I've went through my offer through these videos, right? And I will continue giving you guys stuff for free, but I can't make this thing 45 minutes or you won't watch it. All right. We're going to try to keep it short. So like I said, the second part of the sales cycle is your approach and contact. Now, when you're approaching and contacting on the script, your whole purpose is to get a face-to-face appointment. So that leads me to my third step of the sales cycle, which is your presentation. A lot of people go straight to think that presentation is the easiest part, and it can be, but there's a skill to the presentation. Okay. The presentation can be the easiest part because you go there and you talk and you do all these things, but a lot of people are winging their presentation. See, my real estate sales presentation was fire. It was calculated. It was professional. It was practiced. I had all the steps and knew exactly what to do. I had everything memorized. I showed them exactly what the seller wanted. I showed the buyer exactly what the buyer wanted. Because if I don't know what they want, how are they going to hire me? And a lot of you people watching this video, you're in sales, especially if you're in real estate sales. I guarantee you don't know what a buyer wants. You don't know what a seller wants. Yet you're trying to sell them. Sheesh, not going to work, y'all. So your presentation has to be amazing. So good. See, when you do this enough times, right? And this is going to bring me to my next point. But I'm going to say it in a different way because I don't want to give away my next point. When you do get so good at this, you're going to already know why the seller or the buyer are not signing contracts with you. They're going to have questions. They're going to have fears. They're going to have reasons why they're not going to want to do business with you. So as good as your presentation is, let's get into my next part of the sales cycle. You need to learn how to objection handle. Doesn't matter how good your presentation is because you will always have objections. Now, if you have a good presentation is going to handle the objections. Okay? One of the things that you should be doing in your presentation is pre-framing. I teach pre-framing. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of pre-framing on a listing. Okay, so if I'm Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I just took a look at your house. I took notes, as you saw. I asked a lot of questions. I know your upgrades, and we're going to go over the improvements that we need, small improvements to make sure that you get the best price for this property. So now I'm going to go over a few things, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. See, I'm pre-framing. Pre-framing means I'm telling them what I'm going to cover. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to this house to make it sellable and get the most money in your pocket. I'm going to go through my whole process and marketing so you can see how I'm going to get people in here, qualified people that want to buy your house. Mr. and Ms. Seller, next what we're going to do is we're going to cover, we're also handling objections. So after I just say the second point, once you agree with my marketing, we're going to get into price. I have all these comparable properties on what your property, the ones that have sold and the ones that we're going to be competing against. So don't you worry, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. By the end of that section of my presentation, you and I are going to be pros and know exactly what we should list this property for, how we should price it. And lastly, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, before we sign the contract, I'm telling them what to do. Lastly, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, before we sign the contract, I'm already telling them they're going to sign a contract. Okay? Come on, y'all. Conversion. Let's go. So let's go back into role play. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, we're going to be covering commission. I know you're sitting there, you're thinking, hey, all this stuff is great. How much is going to cost me? Don't you worry. I got you. Okay. Let's get out of role play. That is called pre-framing. Your presentation needs to pre-frame because I need them to pay attention. If I don't pre-frame in the listing presentation or any presentation, all they're going to be thinking about, okay, what is he going to price it at? How much is he going to charge me? They're not going to pay attention to the value. So when I tell them I'm going to cover that, right? They will be paying attention to the value so I can get more commission and I can get it priced right. Not because I'm trying to take advantage of them, is because I'm professional. I know if they don't pay me enough or if they don't price it, it's not going to sell. Cool? So your presentation needs to cover all of that. So you can handle, your presentation's already handling the objections. Because most in the real estate sales business, the most types of objections you're going to get is price. They usually want to price their house higher than the value, and they don't want to pay you enough commission. Okay? If you're getting a lot of objections on timing, or if you're getting a lot of objections, I need to talk to my significant other, you're not doing the first couple of things right. You don't have your script right, because you do not want to waste time in appointments with people that are not motivated. So you need to go back a couple of steps and make sure that you're getting your script, your approach and contact right. Because by the time you get to the presentation, you should have already told them that, hey, I need husband and wife there, or uncle, aunt, father, mother, whoever's on title on this house, I need there that day. And you should be meeting with people that are looking to sell in the next 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to people that are looking to sell next year. You're in spring 2025 and they say, I'm not looking to sell till spring 2026. And because you're not doing enough prospecting, because you're not banging out enough phone calls, or you're not spending money on marketing, you're like, okay, let me go meet them today because my presentation is so good. I'm going to convince them to sell a year earlier. No, you're not. No, you're not. And even if you might be able to do that, guess what? It's not good business practice, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to do that. So what I suggest is go after motivated clientele. How do you find motivated clientele? You build your pipeline, you prospect, and you just don't go after everybody. You go after people that you know are going to buy and sell, that are going to take you seriously. Cool? I'm an objection handling, y'all. But I want to give you some value, so I went all over the place. But let's get back into objection handling. I have a 7-step technique that, again, I want to go into right now, guys, because I want to give you that value. But somewhere in this channel, it's there. I will make another video on it if you give me a comment and just let me know. I will send you the 7 steps. There are 7 steps to handle every objection, guys. I use this. It works. It works amazing. And people and your clientele will be eating out of your hand when you become a pro at objection handling. Okay? And that's not negative. I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking about persuasion. The difference between manipulation and persuasion is when you're using persuasion, you're getting people to do what's good for them. What's standing in the way for what's good for them is their own fears. So the art of communication, articulation, and persuasion is simply for you to get good at removing other people's fears so they can go ahead and do what's good for them. If the act of selling their house or buying your product or whatever you're doing is not good for them, don't make them do it. There's other people out there. Integrity, reputation is way more important than a commission check, man. Don't be a sleazy salesperson. Be a professional. Do things that are good for people. It's a pro tip, man. Just a humanity tip, man. There's too many people out there trying to gouge others, trying to take advantage of people. You know what I'm saying? There's so many times I went to a listing presentation or a buyer consult, even after I qualified them, right? People slip through the trap. You learn some things in the presentation. And I'm like, yo, you guys aren't ready yet. Don't do it. Don't sell your house. It's a beautiful house. But what you can do is you can take some of your equity and buy investment property. But why are you selling your house? Why don't we keep your house? That's part of my presentation as well, guys. So be a pro, okay? Learn the 7 steps to handle every objection. The 5th part of the sales cycle, and the most important, is follow-up. I don't want to say most important, because if there's no prospecting, there's no follow-up. But an important part of the sales process is the follow-up. I have a saying, and it is my saying. The money is in the maybes. You present to the yeses, you forget about the nos, but the money is in the maybes. Those people that same person that used let's use an example on this video where I say, hey, it's spring 2025, and they said they're going to sell spring 2026. Well, that's your follow-up. Okay? That's before you go into the presentation. You're going to offer them emails and calls of value. You're not going to call them in a year. You're going to call them throughout that year so you're top of mind when they are ready to sell. You get enough people this year telling you that they're going to sell spring of next year. Bro, you got a pipeline of people and all you got to do is nurture them. People spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes a month, on marketing to get people to put their hand up. You just got somebody to put their hand up. So put them in your CRM, and when you're prospecting, make sure you call them, y'all. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's go. This is easy. It's easy, man. It's not complicated. Follow up. Have a pipeline. Send emails. Send texts. The money is in the maybes. Don't you get it? We don't understand the law of this delayed gratification. I can't go rock 10 push-ups right now and become jacked like The Rock. Man, that's 20 years and whatever else he does and eats. You know what I'm saying? Guys, delayed gratification. I can't pick up a golf club and become like Tiger Woods. I can't get better than I was yesterday until I understand the law of repetition. Repetition is the mother of all skills. This doesn't happen overnight. Okay? So you got to follow up with these people. Follow up. People say real estate is about location, which is true. But real estate sales is about follow up. You get enough people saying maybe. A maybe is a win. A lot of us salespeople, we go and somebody says, okay, I want to buy, you want to buy a house? 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 You want to buy, yeah, I want to buy a house. Okay, let's go buy a house. And you forget about your prospecting. You go ahead and start showing houses and you forget about the other people that you still need to call. Guys, follow up is everything. I know I'm getting passionate about it, man, but if you don't follow up, this business is going to be very hard for you. Give me some love in the comments. If you need a whole video on following up, I'll do that for you, man. I've been doing this. I've been doing this at a high level. I want to help you. Let me help you. I can't help you if you don't let me know what you need. Cool? I got you, man. I understand how it used to be when I was hungry, man. This was my only choice. I was thirsty. I wanted to go out there. I needed money. And I went to people and said, yo, can you help me? And they didn't know how to help me. Or they didn't want to help me. I want to help you. It's not about money for me. I have money. Let me help you. All right. The next step on the sales cycle is referrals. Guys, remember what I said. People you're going to prospect people you know, people you don't know, and people that they know. When you do this job correctly, all you want to do is build a book of business. I have a whole referral marketing campaign that includes events, that includes charity, that includes amazing things, giveaways for the clients that have done business for me. You're building, so referrals is like building a community, not that stupid thing that realtors say on the back of their card. Hey, the biggest compliment you could give me is your referral. Oh, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. You keep writing that on the back of your card and how many referrals you're going to get. Or, hey, Mr. John, I just wanted to know, remember that deal we did 10 years ago? You haven't talked to this person in 10 years. You're not following up. Yeah, well, today I decided to get off my and prospect. So, yeah, John, do you know anybody that you can refer me to? Guys, that's not referrals, man. That is not referrals, man. There's a system on referrals. I got that system. It's easy, but it's part of the sales cycle, because now look at all these steps that you went through: the calling, the presentation, the objection handling, the follow-up. Now you finally got someone to do business with you. You should have a system to get their repeat business and get their family and friends business, guys. That is a very important stage of the sales cycle. I have that for you. Step 7, last step in this video anyway, is maintaining customer relations. So referrals is one thing that I used to do with referrals is I used to ask people for referrals because I was giving back to a charity. And right when they would sign the listing for me, let's say in a listing example, I would get it right then. I would say, hey, man, thank you for signing this listing with me. By the way, my goal this year is to raise X amount of dollars, $25,000 for the Brain Cancer Society. Let me share a story with you how cancer has affected my family, which it did. Pick a charity that's near and dear to your heart. My older brother passed away with brain cancer. It was my saddest moment and my biggest gift. Take that in, right? That's a different story for the different day. The reason why, well, I don't want to leave you with just the gift part. Let me explain. It was my biggest gift because his passing actually made the best version of me for two reasons. I'm cheating because I got an angel guiding me that a lot of people don't have. So I know I have luck. I have great luck because I have an angel guiding me, wanting to do all these things. So that's the first reason. Second of all, it made me get really serious about life, getting serious about being a father, a husband, a good business person, the best version of myself, right? So you figure out what affected you. So when I talked to people and I wanted to get referrals, I really meant it. They felt that, so they would give it to me. So I would just basically, any referral that they would give me, I would give back to a charity. You pick what you want to do. I say you use that. It's an amazing way to help the community and get more business. Okay, so that's how you get the referral. Number 7 is maintaining customer relations. That's your events. That's your taking them out to a brunch. I used to do an event every year. Pictures was holiday pictures. I would rent a Santa Claus, get hot chocolate cookies, get some lunch, and instead of them sending them all or paying all these expensive prices to get holiday pictures, because we get jacked for holiday pictures, I would just basically say, yo, come on in, I got you. Thank you for doing business with me. Bring your family. It's a great time to meet and mingle. Boom. They get their holiday pictures, and you're giving back, you're maintaining relationships. Give back because you made money off these people. Every quarter you can do a quarterly brunch. So let's say the first quarter of the year, let's say you sold 10 houses, and you can invite all these 10 people out to a brunch. Do brunch because dinner can get expensive. I get it, right? People have drinks and all that stuff, but do a brunch. And out of the 10 people that you invite, 10 couples or 10 families or whatever you got to remember you made money off them. So now you got to give back to your business. Don't be Scrooge. Give. When you give, you get. That's abundance thinking. That's the law of attraction. Now, take them out for brunch. Let's say you invited 10 families or 10 couples or 10 people. Only 6 are going to show. 4 people are going to be busy, but they know you invited them. So then you take those 6 people for brunch, amazing things happen. That's maintaining relationships, give them a closing gift. If they like basketball, this is how you follow up. If you have, Mike, who's a huge, Lakers fan, yeah, you're going to say, yo, did you see that, man? We just got Luka, right? That's your follow-up. You're building a relationship. So maintain these relationships because relationships go a long, long way. Look, y'all. I could go on and on. Hopefully you guys feel the passion and see how I want to help you, because I craved people wanting to, I craved being helped. I craved mentors in my life. So if you feel that fire, you feel that passion, guys, keep giving me some love, and hopefully together we could change some lives. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.